Hey guys, and welcome to Ardent Sports, and today it is time for week 3 of my NFL season predictions. This video is going up a lot later than I wanted to. Kickoff is in just a few hours, so this will probably only be going up until around 7:30-ish, because college Wi-Fi sucks, when normally this video would be up in about 5 minutes. Anyway, quick recap of week 2. There was yet another tie. And god damn it, if I see one more tie, I'm probably going to lose my shit. Like, one more tie, like, if I see another tie this week. I almost want to predict one, just so I can say, hey, I called there was going to be a tie. But I'm not going to do that, because, no. Anyway, let's get into it. Oh, real quick, also, Vontae Davis, former player for the Bills, retired at halftime. Okay. Anyway. Now, getting into week 3. The Jets at the Browns. Dog pound once again. These teams are pretty even. Browns have a little bit better on the receiving end. Jets are a little bit better on the defensive end. Both quarterbacks, we'll see how they go. Sam Darnold versus more than likely Tyrod Taylor. I don't think Mayfield's going to be getting a start until at least week 6. So I'm going to say that Tyrod Taylor still gets the start. And I'm going to say that the Cleveland Browns win this game by 7 or less. Maybe a score around 24-17. So we'll say 24-17. Next up, Sunday, 1 o'clock, we have the Saints. We have the Falcons. Both teams off to a little bit of a struggle this year. Neither team doing all that well. Drew Brees is definitely not the QB he once was. Still one of the greatest quarterbacks currently, and one of the greatest quarterbacks really to play the game. However, he's definitely a steady decline. I think most of us can admit that. So I do have the Saints actually winning this game in somewhat of an upset fashion. Falcons are home, so they may be favored just ever so slightly. But I do actually have the Saints winning this game. Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, great combo right there. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe Matt Ryan and Julio Franco can upset, but be the more favorable matchup as opposed to Drew Brees and Michael Thomas. But I am going to be giving this game to the New Orleans Saints. Next up, we have the Packers. We have the Redskins. Again, neither team off to the best of starts. Green Bay is technically undefeated because they tied Minnesota last week. In my opinion, and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, if a team ties, yes, they haven't been defeated, but they didn't win either. So, I mean, I guess it's undefeated. But in my mind, undefeated is blank and O. For football, blank O and O. Not blank O and 1. Like, in my mind, in my opinion, it should be when it's, in this case, 2, because it's week 3, 0-0. Not 1-0-1. And the same thing goes for the Vikings. Anyway, Packers, Redskins, they're in Washington. Aaron Rodgers is, I guess they're not 100% sure if Aaron Rodgers is going to play this game due to his injury to his knee that he suffered thanks to Khalil Mack in week 1. So, even if Rodgers doesn't play, I feel like DeShone Kizer can get the job done against a less than stellar Redskins team. So, I will be giving this game to the Green Bay Packers. Next up, we have the Colts and Eagles. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Eagles. Even though the Colts actually had a pretty good game last week, Eagles. Next up, we have the Bills. We have the Vikings. Here's another one. Vikings. Next. Raiders, Dolphins. Raiders, I don't think anyone expected the Raiders after a couple stellar seasons, or stellar as one way to put it, seasons, to start the season off 0-2. They lost to a very good Rams team in week 1 and lost at the very last second, well, pretty damn close to the last second, against the Broncos last week. Now, The Raiders are 0-2, like I said. The Dolphins, the fucking Dolphins, are 2-0. They're leading the AFC East behind Ryan Tannehill and Danny Amendola when he's on the field, because Amendola isn't getting all the playing time in the world. He's actually, again, a glorified slot receiver. So, Ryan Tannehill actually isn't doing too bad. With that being said, Raiders and Dolphins in Miami, this game's going to Miami. Miami is going to be 3-0 and still leading the AFC East. Not many people would have said that coming into the season. In fact, I know a lot of people who thought the Dolphins would have the second worst record in the AFC East. I know it's still early. It's only week 3. However, no one expected, or very few people expected, them to start off 2-0. Moving on. We have the Broncos winning in a last-minute session. Wow. Last-minute fashion. There we go. To the Oakland Raiders, like I just said. And we have the Baltimore Ravens, who did really well week 1, and then kind of week 2. However, Ravens are home. They have a veteran QB in Joe Flacco. Simeon's still kind of up in the air, in my opinion. So I'm giving this game to the Ravens. Next up, we have the Bengals. We have the Panthers. Again, another team. Not many people expected to start 2-0 in the Cincinnati Bengals. Cam Newton, he's been struggling to get it done against a lot of teams. However, Cam Newton does have some awesome weapons. Granted, Andy Dalton does have Tyler Eifert and a couple other star players, AJ Green to be named one. This one's going to be really close. A lot closer than a lot of people may expect. A lot of people may expect the Panthers to win by 10. Some people may expect the Bengals to win by 10, maybe more, maybe less. However, I'm going to give this game to the Bengals by 5 points or less. Next up, we have the Giants at the Texans. The Giants' O-line is mediocre at best. And even that's being nice. A lot of people thought they would get better with the addition of Nate Solder. A lot of people thought that the defense would finally find its groove. Yes, they don't have DRC anymore, but Janoris Jenkins, Landon Collins, Eli Apple, etc. Thought they could get the job done. They thought that O-line could protect Eli. Boy, were they wrong. He's now having to do check passes before he can actually throw the ball, which is resulting in probably twice as many sacks as he normally would have with just about any other offensive line in the NFL. And that includes the Buffalo Bills. However, with that being said, the Texans aren't off to the best start either. You know, Deshaun Watson's been another one who's been really up in the air. J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney, neither one, stellar. So we're going to be giving this game actually to the Houston Texans, but that's just simply because of the fact that Houston's defense is 10 times better, even at their mediocre level, than the Giants' O-line is at their best level. Next up, we have the Titans. We have the Jaguars in what's probably going to be one of the better games of the week. Both teams are on the better end of the spectrum than the Bills, the Giants, etc. This game is going to be another close one. It may be both scores in the 20s. Hell, it may be 31-29, if that's even a possible football score. It may be 3-0, which would really suck, but it's possible. I'm going to give this game in a very, very, very close fashion. This is the one I've been debating on all week. You know what? I'm going to give it to the Titans in a very close fashion. I have Jaguars written down, but I'm changing it last second to the Titans. Next up, we have the 49ers and the the Kansas City Chiefs. Holy shit, Pat Mahomes is just a freaking football slinger. Holy God, 10 touchdowns in 2 games. I think he's combined for almost like 900 yards or something like that. He's just a freaking god. Jimmy Garoppolo is good, don't get me wrong. But Pat Mahomes is going to lead the Kansas City Chiefs to quite possibly the AFC Championship game, if not further. I know that's a really bold prediction for week 2, but if he keeps this up, I see no reason that they can't even plow over the Patriots. And that's coming from a freaking Patriots fan. I'm giving this game hands down in a wide margin to the Kansas City Chiefs. Next up, we have the LA Chargers. We have the LA Rams. Battle of Los Angeles, and probably my favorite matchup of the week. I'm looking for this game on so many different levels. I can't even get into it all because this video is already at 10 minutes, and this video would get to 30 if I went on why this is one of my favorite matchups. Jared Goff, Phillip Rivers, young, old, holy hell. I'm excited for this matchup, and I'm giving this one to the LA Rams. Next up, we have Cowboys at Seahawks. This is another one. Russell Wilson is not a bad QB like a lot of people are claiming nowadays. Yes, they're not starting off the season very well. Yes, they're not clicking on all cylinders. Nothing is happening that has happened the past 3 years, and that is scaring a lot of people and making people think that Wilson is not the QB to lead this team anymore. Guys, it's been what, 5 years, 6 years? I mean, come on. Just because it's been a while and he's not filling the need now, hell, he lost half of his receivers to one reason or another. He's trying to make it work. I think that they can get it done against this Cowboys defense this week, and I'm giving this game to the Seattle Seahawks. Next up, we have the Bears. We have the Cardinals in Arizona. Bears. Next. Patriots at Lions. Okay. Former Patriots coach leading the new home team, Detroit Lions, rather. Sorry. Baseball on the brain. Got a baseball video coming out in a couple days. Sorry. Detroit Lions. And I don't really see how the Lions could overcome the Patriots. I get Patricia knows a lot about New England. You know, he was there for years. Whoop-de-frickin-do. I don't think that he'll have a lot of inside knowledge, so to speak, on how to tame this Patriots team. With that being said, this game is going to the Patriots, even though they did lose to the Jaguars last week. So, again, like I told you guys last week, I was kind of indifferent on that game, but the Patriots did lose, but they're going to bounce back this week, and they're going to beat the Detroit Lions. And that is the Sunday night game. Monday night, we have the Steelers. We have the Buccaneers. Ryan Fitzpatrick, if he has, I think, maybe 1 to 2 more showings like what he had in the last 2 weeks, I think Jameis Winston will lose that starting job. Ryan Fitzpatrick is starting to look like the Ryan Fitzpatrick of 5, 6, 7 years ago. Holy God. Now, I'm not saying that Ryan Fitzpatrick isn't going to turn back into Ryan Fitzpatrick of the Jets last year, 2 years ago. All I'm saying is Ryan Fitzpatrick is doing very well for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team in Jameis Winston's absence, and I would not be surprised if Fitzpatrick nails the starting job by the time Winston is ready to come back. With that being said, the Steelers are still without Le'Veon Bell. They're possibly without Antonio Brown, so that leaves Juju Smith-Schuster to really lead the way for the Steelers team, along with Big Ben, obviously. But even Big Ben's not doing all that great anymore. Who knows what's going on with Antonio Brown? He missed the meetings on Monday. Haven't heard anything since, if he's shown up. And Le'Veon Bell is still being a jackass and not playing until he gets the contract he wants, which the Steelers have basically already said, you're not getting it. So it's either play or see you later. So he's just kind of going with the flow at this rate, and we may never see him in a Steelers uniform or any uniform really ever again. Who knows? Anyway, long story short, rambling on forever and ever and ever, I am giving this game to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we have Browns, Saints, Packers, Eagles, Vikings, Dolphins, Ravens, Bengals, Texans, Titans, Chiefs, Rams, Seahawks, Bears, Patriots, and Buccaneers. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. It is the #1 way to help a channel. I will have an update for you guys next week on my Week 4 predictions on how the more or less unofficial contest between me, your boy Hobo, Z Diamond, and Johnny Talk Sports is going. I'm not even sure if they all know that I'm keeping track, but I have been. So I will let you guys know next week how that is going. Be sure to go subscribe to their channels. If I remember, I will put a link down in the description, and I will be talking to you guys later. Peace, I'm out.